Wasn't Florida gonna do a high-speed rails project?
I heard about that on the news, but I'm not sure.
I wonder whatever happened with that. I could really use a quick trip to Orlando.
Me too. I heard that Rick Scott actually denied it at first, and now the government's talking about it again.
Yeah, we definitely need that in Florida.
Yes, I've heard all these grievances before. So in this episode, we're gonna point out all the situations that happen with Florida high-speed rail and the solutions as well. In addition to California, the state of Florida is one of the front runners of high-speed rail. At the moment, a private company called Florida East Coast is underway in implementing a system called All Aboard Florida. But what happened before with the Florida high-speed rail project? Let's go see. Called Florida High-Speed Rail, this project would run from Miami, Orlando, and Tampa. And it was already in the works for a couple of years until in 2009 it finally came to the attention of the Florida legislature. $8 billion were going to be designated for the development under the passage of the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009. Previous bids from federal funding now had to be reevaluated, and that's where issues began to spring up. $30 million was going to be allocated for a 2-year environmental study of the Orlando-Miami route. The White House was even going to put in some cash for $1.25 billion, an amount that would be expected to cover half of the cost of the Tampa-Orlando route. Florida received another $800 million more from the feds to cover construction in October of 2010, and received even more money after that as the governors of Wisconsin and Ohio rejected the fundings for the publicly funded high-speed rail projects. Now, at around this time in 2010, there was a lot of backlash from political groups of anything to do with the federal government funding anything. So in February 16, 2011, the federally funded Florida high-speed rail project was officially killed off by Governor Rick Scott, saying, quote, "If the project becomes too costly for taxpayers and is shut down, the state would have to return the $2.4 billion in federal funds to DC." Now, we know Rick Scott has received a lot of backlash from the citizens of Florida, and believe me, we share that sort of same sentiment as well. But what if Governor Scott smelled something rotten in this whole situation? Where was all the money gonna go to? And how is it all gonna get paid for? The what-if scenario that would have been carried out if Governor Scott did not reject the federal funds would have played out like in California, with its currently federal-funded and state-funded high-speed rail project. California's system was going to be along the lines of sort of what Florida's system was going to be in, a proposed price of around $5 to $7 billion. However, current estimates now for California have blown out of proportion to a whopping $68 billion. The plan has been swamped with many ludicrous ways of funding the project, from cap and trade auctions, bank loans, and carbon credits. And there are some pretty unhappy people in California right now, saying it would be impossible to fund what is quickly becoming a federally funded disaster. Some of the state bond money has even been blocked off by the Sacramento Supreme Court on the basis that the state could not just issue $8 billion out of thin air. And that is the issue we believe Scott was thinking in his evil crystal ball fueled by demons. This is exactly what he was thinking of. So what are the plans now for Florida? Well, at the moment, there's a privately funded high-speed rail project called All Aboard Florida, proposed by the Florida East Coast Rail Company. The plans would pretty much run along the same lines that the federally funded Florida high-speed rail project was going to run upon. However, this time it would be privately funded, for saying that there won't be any dime from taxpayer dollars. However, All Aboard Florida has also gotten some backlash, this time from citizens of Florida, For example, in Jupiter recently, during a conference with High Speed Rail and All Aboard Florida, some of the citizens were saying that it's conceivable that these trains could block boat traffic at bridges for a long time. That puts me and dozens of other boating businesses out of business. Citizens have also complained that the trains would be more noisy, would cause dangers for pedestrians and cars, and would even lower property values for the homes around the area. Okay, another reason why Chris didn't also want the federally funded high-speed rail project was because that at that time, Florida was at a deficit of almost $3 billion. Now, at the moment, we have a surplus of approximately $1.2 billion. So recently, Charlie Chris is now getting back into the fray of high-speed rail, trying to bring back the federally funded remnants of Florida high-speed rail. Now this could create a problem at the crossroads between All Aboard Florida and the bringing back of Florida high-speed rail. Which one would come back on top? And I believe there's a lot of misinformation that's being brought about All Aboard Florida. Anything that is being said about that it could create more traffic or anything about boat traffic, I mean, these trains go a lot faster than freight trains. These are not going to be like trains that are going to be brought up and down for a long time. These trains go maybe faster than that, and they're a lot safer as well than regular trains. So we have to clear up about all that misinformation and bring it up to the point of where we are going with high-speed rail. And we believe here at High Speed Rail America Club that a privately funded system like All Aboard Florida would be much more successful than California's project or any other federally funded project. This is Demetrius Villa, and you've been watching Fast Forward.